Part 61. So she found out that he proposed to his baby mama before she got there. Literally like 30 minutes before my baby got there. So, and that crushed her heart. So she went up to him. She was like, so Dad, you got married? And he was like, no, I got engaged. And my baby was like, when? And he was like, today. She was like, without me? He didn't say nothing. So she was like, oh, okay. And walked out the house and got on her hoverboard and was playing outside with her brothers. Now, I'm still sitting in the house. And I'm just letting them know, like, congratulations. Let me know when the wedding is so I can come and throw rice. That's how I was. That's how I am. I want to see you happy because you act like you want to be up my ass this whole fucking time. You're finally doing something productive, okay? And not in my fucking business. And y'all remember the cousin I was going back and forth with on Facebook? That hoe was there too, but anyways. Okay, part 62. So after we left, you know, my daughter had her time with her siblings and her other side of the family. We left. We got in the car and my daughter was just so upset. I'm like, Mama, tell me what's wrong. And she was like, I'm just upset that my daddy knew I was coming and he didn't wait to propose to, you know, his baby mama. And I wasn't a part of it. And I was letting her know, like, I know you feel some type of way, but you have to understand, like, your daddy just came home and, you know, trying to butter her up, make it seem like, okay, he probably did not do it on purpose, but he probably wasn't thinking. But my daughter wasn't trying to hear that. She's the type of person where you got one time to show her that you don't give a fuck and that's it. And basically that's what he was showing her. So when we got home, of course, she told my wife, and my wife had to make sure that she was okay because that's her baby girl. Part 63. So time went by. Now we, you know, fast forward to 2018. And again, I told y'all I wanted this man to be there for his daughter. So I was taking my daughter back and forth. And I mean back and forth to, you know, his mama's house where he stayed at. Now, me and this man, in the midst of me bringing my daughter to and from his mama's house, me and this man did not talk. Now, I was talking to his fiance and his dad. That was my communication. Like, I wouldn't communicate through him. I would communicate through her. And I was rarely communicating through her because I was communicating through his dad. And then on top of that, there was nothing for me and him really to talk about it because my daughter had her own phone. So I would let him know, like, you don't have to talk to me. Nobody in this house have to talk. Y'all can talk to my daughter. Y'all are her family, not my family. So yeah. So that's how that went. Part 64. So like I was telling y'all before, you know, I was just letting them know, like, they don't have to talk to me because my daughter has her phone. So now, you know, again, she's still going over there, whatever the case may be. Now, let's fast forward to get to her birthday in May. So, everybody who knows me knows about my baby. I do it big. It don't even have to be her birthday. But for her birthday, I go all out. In this particular year, of course, she was in school. So, I threw her a party in school, which I always do every year. And then I had a party that weekend. My baby wanted to go skating. So, I said, okay, well, you know, me and my wife will throw a skating ring party. Now, because I am the person that I am, I wanted her peoples to be involved with, like, okay, you know, y'all, her party's coming up. Y'all can do something. So, you know, the grandma done hit me up, asking me, like, what's going on with the party? So I'm like, you know, this is what's going on with the party. Let me go ahead and just give y'all part 65. So I told the grandmother and all what's going on with the party, you know. I'm not looking for anything monetary, but she was asking, like, how much is everything? And I let her know, like, this is how much it is. Now, again, my baby had her phone, so I didn't need to talk to her dad, but she was talking to her dad. So while me and my wife is telling the grandmother how much everything is, you know, again, my daughter's talking to her dad. And her dad told her, like, you know, basically that he was coming to the party. He was going to bring her baby brothers and his fiance, which, again, like, I'm cool with that. I'm cool. It be to the point where, like, sir, you come, make sure you take Tiana with you because she need a break. That's how I am. So, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, my daughter told me, like, Mommy, this is what my dad said. I'm like, okay, cool. But I just need to know if he's going to be there or not for sure. Like, for real this time. Y'all are so hilarious. Part 66. So now we get into the part where it's my daughter's birthday. of course, you know, other friends and family came. And then, you know, his fiance and his mama and her baby brother came. Where he was, I have no clue, but he did not come to her party. So, remember I told y'all my daughter is the type of person, like, you only got one time to disappoint her and that's it? That was the type of situation that was going on at the party, but I was trying to explain to her, like, me being a mom, you're trying to make an excuse, like, oh, your dad probably had to work, you know, this, that, and the third. She wasn't trying to hear that. So, she ended up telling my wife, like, I'm upset because my dad didn't come, and he told me that he was going to come, but he didn't come. So my goal basically at her party was just to make sure she was happy. Like, despite her dad not coming, I just wanted to make sure that she, you know, was having fun with her friends and family. Part 67. So, yeah, he didn't show up. You know, being a mom, I had to make up some type of excuse until why, like, he didn't show up. I'm like, well, you know, maybe he was working or he couldn't come or whatever the case may be. And I know that the charges that he had, you know, from dealing with me probably was a reason why he didn't come, but he's come to other parties, so I didn't really understand why. But I was just trying to, you know, ease the hurt from my daughter so that way she know, okay, well, my mom said he probably was working, so maybe that was the case. Now, after my baby party, I want to say like a few days later, I went the fuck in. Because why is you getting my daughter's hopes up and you lying to her? Regardless if your fiance and your son was there and your mama, they're not her father. So why are you lying to her? So, of course, me and him was going back and forth. And this was on the phone. This was not through text. Part 68. So, of course, after me and him go back and forth at it, like, we don't communicate after that. Again, my daughter has her own phone, so there's no need for me and him to communicate. But his fiance was hitting me up. And she only really hit me up to ask me what size my daughter wore. And you know, y'all know I'm not the type of person that ever tell nobody, no, you can't do nothing for my daughter. No, ma'am. You can buy my daughter whatever the hell you want to, okay? So I end up giving her my daughter's size, whatever the case may be. And I guess they got her clothes. I want to say they did. I don't remember, child. So after, I guess, when they brought the clothes, I took my daughter down there so that way she can, you know, spend time with them and get her, you know, her gift. Now, I told y'all that my daughter wasn't the type of person at that time when she was that young to stay down there by herself. She always wanted me to go with her. So, like, I would sit in the car or I would sit in the living room. Of course, I love y'all. Part 69. So time go by, and yes, I'm taking my daughter down there when she wants to go down there. It wasn't often, but when she wanted to go down there, I would gladly take you down to your daddy and his people's house because your mama needed a break. That's just how I was. Now, as time is going by, it wasn't much interaction. Like, he really wasn't calling her, you know, wasn't texting her, wasn't checking up on her, none of that. So this is going into the next school year. So I'm like, okay, you know, school's coming around. Ain't nobody text me or call me saying, hey, do Zala need this and Zala need that? It was none of that. So, of course, I hit up her granddaddy. Like, okay, what y'all doing this year? Are y'all doing the same thing y'all did last year or no? Of course, they say no. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Me and my wife just had went school shopping, but I was just trying to see if they were going to do something. Part 70. Now, before y'all be like, oh, but if you got money, why you need that, da-da-da-da? That's not the case. I just wanted to see if they were going to do it again. Now, I'm not bashing him. At the end of the day, I know he have other kids, you know. That was the excuse that I basically had in my head. Like, okay, you know, he have other kids. So, I'm not going to stress the simple fact that, you know, her granddaddy or her dad's side can't do nothing for her because it's like, I'm the type of person, I'm not looking for you to do anything, but just think about it. So, of course, again, they didn't buy school supplies or school clothes. I do it every year. Even when they brought her the school clothes the previous year, I still brought her stuff. Like, I brought her stuff way before. So, yeah, it was just like, okay, you know, stuff is dying down. They not doing as much as they did before. And then I started to think about, like, okay, maybe they only did it that year because he was in jail. And of course, if they show like, boom, we did this while he was there, so you know, this and the third. But of course, everything died down, and I ain't hold no grudges. I ain't do none of that. So I'm like, whatever, it is what it is.